Hey everybody, I'm Jody. Welcome to Pure Foodies TV. And I apologize for being a little bit late, but I have a little helper in the house and he decided that he wanted to be here live with us. So I want to introduce you to my sous chef. Dalton, say hi. I knew it was going to happen like this. But anyway, no worries. He might be here time to time, and I will even be cooking baby food and tell you about the formula I make for him in upcoming episodes. But this channel is all about whole foods, especially vegetables and fruit-based recipes, because that's where all the healing properties really are. Everything that I make is simple, fast, and flavorful, so it's good enough for you to make for yourself for a quick lunch or good enough to serve to your friends and family at your next dinner party. So today I'm going to make a little bit of a new variety of a recipe that I did for a food demo for Wanderlust about a month ago. And we're going to be using collard greens as the featured vegetable. So I love teaching people about new vegetables, new fruits that maybe you're intimidated by when you go into the grocery store. So you don't need to be scared of them. You just need to know how to cook them, how to prepare them, and what kind of flavors they go best with. So we're gonna make cauliflower stuffed collard greens today. And although I'm not from the South, I eat a ton of collard greens and leafy vegetables in general. So with a lot of people being on special diets these days, there's a big need for substitutions. So there's a lot of people eating paleo, there's a lot of people eating low carb. So you can really do cool things with vegetable alternatives using cauliflower as your rice replacement, or using things like zucchini and sweet potatoes and squash for noodles and so on. So we're gonna use cauliflower as our rice replacement. We're gonna use collard greens here as our wraps, and a really cool flavorful dressing with some cilantro and mango. So to get started, you are going to have collard greens fresh from the grocery store. So they need to be large so that you can roll them and wrap them up and have, you know, enough stuff in them that they hold together and they aren't going to break. So you can use different greens from time to time, like romaine lettuce or Bibb lettuce is another favorite, but this one works really well. So you wash them, rinse them off, pat them dry so they're not sopping wet. And then all you really have to do to make these ready to go completely is to make a little divot in the stem and cut off this big piece, because it's not going to bend when we get to having it filled and we want to wrap it and everything like that. So you need to cut off the base. If you want to keep these, they're still really valuable for your health. Same thing with kale. You can use the stems for sauteing. You know, they're just more dense, so you don't really want to chew on them or eat them raw as much, but you know, cut those off. And so then you can do as many as you like. So I think I've got 4. Just look how beautiful these are. They're like fans for a hot day. Beautiful, beautiful green collards. My baby's staring at me. Okay, so those are all ready to go. So if you have a cutting board, just set those to the side and save those for later, and we'll get to the next things here. Okay, so what we're gonna fill, besides the cauliflower rice, we're going to use 1 red pepper, 1 bell pepper. You could use yellow or orange. They tend to be more flavorful than just the plain green. And we are going to use our cauliflower itself, which is already riced. And this is a big time-saving step. So you guys can get cauliflower rice fresh in the markets today or frozen. And you don't need to spend the time washing a bunch of cauliflower and drying it and chopping it up and putting it in a food processor and, you know, all these things. This is fast and very inexpensive and affordable to find them already done for you. So just skip ahead 5 steps and get it this way. I always have these on stock, whether it's fresh or frozen. So one or the other, it's super easy to keep. Okay, now you can use this raw, but to create a little bit more flavor depth, we're gonna saute it. So as we get started, let me just turn on my pan right here, and I'll just put it on like a medium-low heat. And notice that I'm gonna use a saute pan that has a little bit of a deeper, more depth to it, because we don't want it to spill out over the edges on the side. So I'm doing a big bowl of cauliflower rice. There might be extra. You don't necessarily have to have exact measurements here, because you can just make more or less to serve the amount of people that you have coming or yourself. Okay, so the pan is gonna heat up and we'll let that set. To season the cauliflower, super simple, things to always keep on hand: Himalayan sea salt. If you want to do fresh cracked pepper, you can do fresh cracked pepper. Some people don't like that as much. I work with digestive clients, and sometimes pepper can be an irritant, a digestive irritant. We are going to take another shortcut and do organic garlic powder. So, of course, you can do fresh garlic if you want. And then we will be making our very flavorful mango sauce. Okay, so let's get our red pepper and start chopping it. So I found that the best way to chop the peppers is to go along the edges of the stem. So let me show you how I do it. So then you're kind of missing all the seeds. You don't have as much work at the end here. Okay, so you're kind of left with this type of shape. And if there's any of this extra debris inside, then just cut that out or scoop it out. So you don't want the ribbing. It won't hurt you, it just won't look as nice when you get things all finished. So you can just slide that all out, throw it in your garbage bowl, and then we're just gonna slice the red pepper into long, thin strips. Because as we get into filling the collard greens, we don't want, we want everything to go kind of the same direction. So you're gonna just end up with strips of pepper that look like this. Really easy, okay? And of course, if you're doing a big amount of these wraps, if you're having a bunch of people over or something, then totally just, you know, add more, or add several colors of bell peppers. You could do orange and yellow and red if you want, and do combinations. So whatever you like, they're gonna taste very similar, and you can substitute very easily doing that. Okay, so let's spray our pan and add our cauliflower rice to the stove. Okay. So that's gonna cook really quickly. And as you start, you know, layering things, whether you're cooking or doing some combinations of raw, make sure that you're seasoning each layer as you go. This one on the stovetop is going to be very simple: garlic, salt, pepper, olive oil, because most of the flavor in our special ingredients for this is coming from our mango sauce, which we're going to do right after this. Okay, so I'm going to season and stir quickly the cauliflower rice, just a little bit extra. Okay, spray it a little more. You guys might notice I'm using an olive oil spray from Trader Joe's. You can find these anywhere, or get yourself a mister. Those sometimes tend to clog up more easily, so I like to buy these, and then they're done and you toss them out and get more. But there's no other ingredients except organic olive oil, and that's important. So when you are cooking, the oils that I typically are using are olive oil and coconut oil. You can also find quality oils from plants, nuts, and seeds like avocado, walnut, and hemp. Those are much better than canola and other vegetable oils. You definitely want to always avoid those. They're completely inflammatory and irritating, and they feed viruses and stuff in your body. So stay away from those and choose a good oil all the time. Okay. And I can smell it all ready. All right, cool. That's gonna cook really quickly. So this is what I mean by a very fast lunch. You could have this sauce done ahead of time. You know, all you have to do is rinse collard greens, and you could literally cook your cauliflower in less than 5 minutes, and there you go. It's like a very gourmet lunch, and you don't have to complain of getting bored about eating healthy. Okay, so this salsa, here's your ingredients if you want to take notes and make a list. The star of this sauce is mangoes. So we're using organic mangoes, and here's your fresh version, fresh variety. I don't know about you, but I hate cutting mangoes because they have this huge seed inside, and there's no easy way to do it. You can buy like a kitchen tool to slice any vegetable and fruit these days, but if you don't want to clutter your drawers, you can take another shortcut. Or, you know, wash the skin. You can cut it sort of like an avocado, where you just slice down here along the seed and then make slices into the skin and scoop it out, or use a knife to scoop it out. And I do that sometimes, but I want to do my shortcut for you today and show you how that looks. So I always have frozen organic fruit in my freezer for smoothies because we're a big smoothie family and a big fruit eating family. So we have organic mangoes already cut up. And so this is one thing that is an easy way to skip ahead. And you don't have to do anything to it. But I've had this mango thawing out just for 15 minutes maybe in a bowl. And that's it. So it's already cubed. So if you want to use it in a salad, you could make smaller cubes, for example, or leave it as is and serve it, you know, in a fruit bowl or something, or definitely in a smoothie. But since we're going to blend it anyway, it doesn't really matter how it looks, and it just needs to be soft enough to, you know, mix up into a puree. So all I did was take half a cup of organic mango. So fresh or frozen that's been thawed out, you could do. Okay. Then we're going to add lemon juice. So get yourself a big lemon. I'm just going to do a half, cut it in half, get the seeds out, and squeeze that juice into your jar or container. The next element is scallions, green onions. So take the ends off here, and you know, sometimes they look like super floppy on the end, so you can cut it down to about this part. So we're going to use our knife and do that now. And there will be 2 scallions in total going into the mango sauce. So this much in total. So we've got half a cup of mango, and we've got 2 scallions and half of a large lemon juiced so far. Okay, next is cilantro. Cilantro is amazing. I would encourage you to eat it every single day because it is a major detoxifier for your brain, for your tissues and organs, and it helps you to get and bind heavy metals out of your body. So I know some people don't like the taste of cilantro, and if you think it tastes soapy or funny, that's a sign that you need to detox, because as soon as you start putting it in your mouth, it's starting to pull toxins. So an even better reason to eat it. So go for fresh, half a cup a day if you can get it in. So that's why I use it a lot in things like sauces and salsas and smoothies because of its health benefits. So this is another way that you can eat on purpose. Use your fresh herbs, especially cilantro. So that's going to get dumped into the mixer. Mango, scallion, cilantro, and lemon. We're going to do a tablespoon of rice vinegar. I love rice vinegar. It's a really bright flavor. I use it a lot in Asian cooking. And it goes really well with ginger and garlic. So just a splash, about a tablespoon, and about a tablespoon of coconut oil. So here's another oil that we're using. Let me quick check on this cauliflower. And this is good. Okay, so we'll take that off. See how quick that was? Okay, that can sit there for a second. And then the final ingredient, besides the rice vinegar and besides the coconut oil for our mango sauce, is aloe. And if you guys don't know what aloe is, Or you might just think sunburn. I put aloe vera on my skin when I get too much sun. And you totally do because of how cooling and nourishing and soothing it is to the skin. But even more so, it does the same things inside your body. So this is what a huge mango leaf looks like. And I've already chopped a big piece of it off. So you can go to your health food store or Whole Foods or somewhere, go to the fresh produce section, and you'll see huge long leaves with spiky edges all along the side. So you want to be a little bit careful. It's not quite as sharp as like a rose bush or a cactus, but it can be sharp. So you cut off the end, and then you want to get into this good fatter middle section, and you can see the jaw right there. And this is where all the goodness is. You want this stuff in your body because it's so soothing to your digestive tract and digestive system. And so many people have irritation there, or stomach issues, stomach pain. They're really not that hard to remedy. So whenever you can get aloe or fresh aloe juice into your diet, it's great. So, it can be very therapeutic. So to use this in cooking or in your recipe, you just want to make a slice like I've done, make another one, and then you kind of fillet it like a fish. So you're going to take this outer edge all the way like this. Woo! Okay, so it's all gel. And then just take your knife along this inner edge as well, and then you'll just dump it into your mixer. And again, so this is going to make your sauce a little bit more frothy, a little bit more full, a little bit more full-bodied, and it's great to mix into smoothies and things like this because it doesn't have its own flavor, so it's not going to ruin the flavor of what you're making, but it's going to provide more consistent, thicker consistency, and it's going to provide a lot of nutrition or health benefits for you. What do you think, baby? He's talking to us over here. Okay, so we are gonna puree this all together in a blender, and I already done that because it was very loud and I didn't want to scare y'all. So here's what it looks like, and it tastes amazing. It's super bright, super flavorful. You can really taste the mango. You can really taste a little bit of the bite of the scallion. And it's such a pretty consistency. So this would be an amazing salad dressing. This would be an amazing sauce to drizzle over, the top of your collard greens, or even to have on the side for like vegetable crudités. Just really, really bright and flavorful and light. So what we're gonna do is use that for the dressing and start to build our collard green wraps. Okay, so see how easy this is, you guys? There's like not much to it. I'll move this back and see if we can get any of it on video here. Oh, there. Does that work? Let's try that. Okay. On the plate. All right, so we're gonna take the wrap. We've got our peppers here on the side. Any of the stuff you could double expose, so that's a good thing to do too. Like if you're gonna put mangoes in your sauce, you could put more mangoes inside, and then people know kind of what flavors to expect. Okay. So let's start with the cauliflower rice. And you're just going to kind of keep everything in the center because you want to leave some of the border to be able to roll and wrap things. So we'll spread that out. And we're going to put a couple of our red pepper slices here, right inside. Let's do a little bit extra mango. Dalton likes it so far. Okay. We've got more fresh cilantro. Give it a little bit more of a chop It won't matter really, but if you want to make it look a little more gourmet, put that on there. And then we're just going to drizzle a little bit of the sauce. Oh gosh. Here, buddy. What is it? Okay. Oh man. From now on, our episodes will be on Thursdays when I have a babysitter. Okay, so all you're gonna do is try to stuff it here into the greens, roll it nice and tightly. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Now, with the ends, you can wrap this part under. And if this is too coarse, which I could have cut it a little shorter, then no worries. You just cut off that piece there. And if you want to showcase the inside, then you just cut them in half. So see how cool that is? And then we can, you know, put them on a plate. So all you're really gonna have to do here is to keep building your wraps, and then you can serve them on a big platter. Hold on. Okay, come here, baby. So, Dalton, he doesn't want me to talk to you alone. So, all right, guys, so this was our first trial of YouTube Live. No big deal, right? So I'm gonna have this collard green wrap with mango sauce on my blog. So I'd love it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click the red button below and then come on over to my website at jodybullock.com and check out my blog. And you can post any comments or questions that you have there. And I will see you next week on Thursdays for the next episode of Pure Foodies TV. See you then.